to spin.
Hold up, Carter, you record that?
JD with the flex.
I got so much shit on my mind, I'm taking my time and I losing my mental. My young buddy eating up them purges for fun. We all did dirt, so don't call them simmer. And right now I'm just drowning in thoughts. My dog went to court, I hope that he won't. Them 762s get to flipping like Tony. I hang out the window and make Tony hawk. I cut on good music when we go to spin, cause I like to get in my mood. And that boy Pop Yerks when he go to spin, cause he gotta make himself do. I done hit niggas up, now I'm living through music. You heard me say shit that I ain't do. I'm doing more spinning and spinning, and I got some shit in the cut I've been waiting to use. More I got so much shit on my mind, I'm taking my time and I losing my mental. My young buddy eating up them purges for fun. And we all did dirt, so don't call them sinner. And right now I'm just drowning in thoughts. My dog went to court, I hope that he won't. Them 762s get to flipping like Tony. I hang out the window and make Tony hawk.
Yeah. Stop. Listen to what your heart is saying. Yo, shout out, man. What's up? What's up? This is your boy Ill, back at it like a crack at it in the trap active. This is another episode reaction. This is just my thoughts. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. The homie may pull up. But we gonna get to this content, man. Y'all know what's going on. Let's get to it. We got Young and Jefe. The paperwork has been released, and it's looking bad, man. It's looking real bad. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But he is the one next on the chopping block. So let's get to it, man.
Okay, we got Street TV, Alex Alonso. He came out with some content yesterday and brought this to the table. You know what I'm saying? Let everybody know that the LAPD just released the paperwork or the affidavit on what happened, you know, what they feel, what they allege happened. So we're going to get straight to it, all right? Let's get to it.
But, you know, before Whack 100 started making a name for himself on Clubhouse back in 2020 during COVID, these misinformation campaigns, this amount of slanderous content was extremely rare. It wasn't part of our genre in this street gang.
Yeah, get a little bit of clarity. So he not only speaking on the paperwork, but he's speaking on these bloggers and how they are affecting the way content is ran right nowadays on YouTube, you know, and how, you know, some of these commentators or content creators or bloggers have been putting a lot of fallacious stuff, falsehoods, and, you know, just straight rumors when it comes to these cases that's out on these artists, you know what I'm saying, or these individuals. So he you know, and they all doing it for the cash. It's all about the money at the end of the day, and that's what they have to turn these platforms into. So he's speaking on Whack, who is like one of the leading folks that's been spewing a lot of this rhetoric. Let's get to it.
Historical storytelling, it was not a part of that. He introduced that into this genre. He has single-handedly influenced a movement that is based on deceit, misinformation, and libel. And a lot of you platforms support it. A lot of you platforms support it. You know why? AdSense. You want that AdSense money, and the facts and the truth and the accuracy of this information does not matter to you. But I got this 3-page affidavit written by the LAPD that breaks down why they requested arrest warrants on 3 people, one of them being Young and Jefe. And I'm gonna go through this 3-page affidavit by LAPD Detective Rudy Avilar. But before I get into that, you guys have done a horrible job on Young Ant. And it's not just Young Ant, it's a whole bunch of y'all. And y'all might even say Young Ant is guilty of this too. Maybe he is. I do recall one time Young Ant got on his channel and retracted a story that he did. And that's fine because we all gonna make mistakes. Retraction just means, hey, the last thing that I did, the last story that I reported on, I made this mistake, I made that mistake. That's a retraction. And we don't really see too much of retracting going on. So, you know, you could put Young An in this category too, but he's one of the few guys I've actually seen do a retraction. But Poetic Flacco, he is one of those guys that does not care about the quality of information that he provides.
That's a fact.
That it's salacious, like the National Enquirer or the Sun. He did Young An extremely wrong in this story. And everyone who ran with his narrative and reposted his story and pushed his narrative, you just as guilty. Why can't you watch it and say, oh no, this is horrible. I'm not even gonna go there with it. Nah. But each and one of you channels definitely avoid certain things, but you know that, ooh, this is gonna get some numbers. Ooh, I'm gonna run up a bag. Nah, that's not.
Now he's not lying on that. You know, I see a lot of channels that do that where it's about them putting out content where they're just straight out lying, like the information, speculations, rumors, and they know how rumors are. You know, especially if you're a member or you know you in the streets or claim you in the streets, you know certain things is not tolerated. So it's have been a lot of these folks that got channels, and you know it's always a bad because somebody's gonna always profit off of your pain. That's it. I mean, that's just how life is. So YouTube ain't exempt from that. You know, people see your story, they do it to the celebrities, and they're all trying to run up a bag. So can we truly like really blame these content creators where you know that's probably their whole little stitch? I think if anybody take what these dudes say for serious about stuff like that, they need their head checked, period. You know, let's get back to the content.
That's not what these platforms are supposed to be based on. There's no vetting the information. And basically, your channels are based on rumors, speculation, and the comments. You guys will literally read the comments. You know, comments could be trolls. Comments could be anybody, completely unvetted. And I had no idea that Poetic Flacco had any animosity until towards me until I saw him back on Fig in January of this year, in January 2026. And this is what he had to say about me.
Dog, like for example, Street TV. Why is a platform called Street TV needed?
Why not?
Why should kids have to sit and learn about game banging all day? Why should kids right have to sit and watch something where they're glorifying game banging?
Okay,
they're glorifying it.
So let's go to no.
It's a lie off the top. That's why you know you could tell cats ain't they ain't really in the streets or whatnot, or just pretty much know what these platforms really are here for. What's their real purpose? I've been watching Street TV since its inception, and I don't get they're glorifying game banging. They're just a history channel, pretty much. Just like if you watch the History Channel and they talking about the pharaohs and the Egyptians and what happened over here in this land, they gonna tell you the good, the bad. They gonna tell you what armies and fleet and what was they doing, and that's what it's about. So this man is documenting the culture that's out in that area in LA, you know what I'm saying, California, and how it has migrated and spread everywhere. But a person that's not a part of that, not a part of that community, don't understand. And Flacco's one of those. He's not part of our culture. He's what they call a tether, a foreigner, and it ain't nothing wrong with being a foreigner, but it's like at the same time, if you're not from here, if you're not in it, how you gonna just say what you think, but you don't know? And he gets into how these guys, just like T-Rail, who represents the Hoovers, we ain't gonna even sugarcoat it, and he should have off the top like, nah, nigga, that ain't what he about. You're misinforming. You're not understanding what he's trying to get across. Come on. Because you're to say, well, why kids need to know about this? Why do kids need to know about scamming? This man got a lawsuit. He had a lawsuit on him. I don't know if he has any more, where he was stalking. Do kids need to know about stalking? I mean, I'm just saying. You point fingers, man. It's this fingers pointing back at you.
Jumper, he's glorifying gangbanging.
No, they're not.
Did you hear that?
No, they're not.
Glorifying gang banging. Glorifying gang banging. Here's a great book on how MS-13 became what they became by Professor Ward. Is this glorifying? Here's a great book by Chris Blatchford on the history of an individual in the Mexican mafia. Is this glorifying?
Yeah, I read that.
This is a brand new book about 18th Street called The Rent Collectors by Jesse Katz, former LA Times writer. Is this glorifying? And here's a historical book I have in my collection from 1927. This book is almost 100 years old, and it actually became the story of the movie that Leonardo DiCaprio starred in many years ago, The Gangs of New York, by Herbert Asbury. Great book when all the gangbanging in New York City were immigrant Jews, immigrant Italians, and immigrant Jews. Very important book in understanding the phenomenon.
Italians, Irish. What other gangs they had? Because he said, and Jews. Jewish, Italian, and Irish. You know, liberty and all that good shit. But they was poor ass motherfuckers. And they came over here, and what did they do? They banded with their brothers. They did exactly the same things that are done in the ghettos right now across America.
That we're currently dealing with today.
Right.
StreetGangs.com has always been based on history. It has always been based on learning about the past. So I don't know where he sees that what we do on this platform is glorifying. But let's continue and hear what else Mr. Poetic Flacco had to say.
With Street TV, the entire platform is gangbanging is the best in the world. Gangbang.
You gotta be dumb as hell to get that from watching that program, from watching his platform. Y'all can go check the rest. We're not focusing on so much of Flacco, even though he is in the thumbnail. I feel like what Flacco did, you got Seti Nash, you got a few others that just kept saying whatever. You know, this is crazy. I'll play a little bit more, but we're gonna get to the actual paperwork.
Is great. Let's glorify gang members. Let's talk to them as if they're like worth talking to. So Street TV is glorifying it. And I'm saying a platform like that shouldn't even exist, because what is like redeeming about a gang member?
I don't know how many people come to Street TV and come to StreetGangs.com and think that I'm putting out a narrative that gangbanging is the best thing in the world.
Right. I never heard. This nigga's stupid.
That's ludicrous. And then he basically just disrespects anyone that used to gangbang or currently gangbangs, because he says, what is redeeming about a gang member? Now, I don't understand how any of you guys can communicate with this person.
All
He
right.
spends a whole lot of time on platforms communicating with dudes that have gang identities, whether it's current or in the past, and he heavily relies on that. And at the same time, he's smacking you in the face. Look, I took down every single Poetic Flacco video that was on Street TV. I never had him on the platform. He was on the platform with Munchie B when Munchie B was doing Rich at Heart. He was on the platform with Spider Loke when he was doing Facts Over Feelings. He was also on the platform again with formerly Cartoon Tony from Fire Trey with Munchie B. And I invited him into my space. I invited him into my studio and let him talk his ish, regardless of how I felt about him. But ever since I seen this thing right here, I can never interact with this guy again. And I don't even understand how you guys do, because he don't like y'all. He don't even respect y'all.
That's a fact. He don't respect y'all. And what he's saying, he goes into, you know, like I say, he say about black folks, you know, the famous quote, well, he ain't snitch on me. He ain't do nothing to me. And they always do that. Even going to go work on No Jumper. The man disrespected those brothers that was on his channel, that was on his platform before, that helped him reach to where he at. And he shitted on them, kept on sending darts back and forth, trying to sabotage their come up. But niggas still went on that platform. And that's how it is in the streets. Because the niggas be like, well, he ain't do that to me, or he ain't gonna do that to me. And they'll still work with the devil. And that's just how our people are, which is sad. You know, when motherfucker's a devil and you see him treating your other brother like that, even if you don't really say, oh, he's my brother because of our same culture connection, but he's still doing foul shit to somebody. What makes you think he ain't gonna do foul to you? And he's showing it over and over again. You know, but they'll go on there just to get that money, get that little bit of cheddar. They'll take the humiliation just to be a part of that platform, part of that club or that in crowd. It's sad.
He's using y'all, but because he's getting clicks and views, you guys tolerate it. Shameful. So I put all of his videos on members only. You cannot see anything publicly of Poetic Flacco on Street TV ever. This guy's basically saying, so a guy that used to be in a gang is not worth talking to, but he talks to them all the time. A guy in a gang is not worth learning from, but he learns from them all the time. Let's just play this last clip on Flacco.
Right. Like I'm the dude Alex. Yo, Alex have been perpetrating as a non-affiliate and a civilian for years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No. Alex is like a deep-rooted, like real, authentic OG gang member, right? But people like Alex, they're able to disguise themselves as civilians in order to push the harmful rhetoric.
Perpetrating as a non-affiliate, a deep-rooted OG gang member.
I never knew.
That pushes a harmful rhetoric. I'm an OG gang member. That's crazy. You know, I graduated from the University of Southern California in 1995. And I went on to graduate school and graduated again. I have never committed or devoted myself to becoming an OG gang member. This guy's frivolous. This guy's slanderous. And you know what? This guy has actually been sued multiple times before. Here's a case where a person named Catherine Brown sued Poetic Flacco. Minyango Tokpa. That's Poetic Flacco. She alleges that Poetic Flacco engaged in a degree of stalking, harassing, threatening, attacking, intimidating, and defaming her name through online activity.
This nigga was a stalker, creep, perv. This is so crazy. Straight perv. Stalker. Why ain't do it? Did he do any jail time? No.
She claims that the defendants are individuals using online platforms like YouTube to engage in cyber and online harassment that began around October 1st of 2020. I'll put a link to this down in the description. I don't know what the outcome of this case is. Somebody wanted to sue Flacco. In fact, Flacco is probably going to end up getting sued again. And in that video that you just heard of Flacco speaking foul on me, guess where he's getting this motivation and information from to say these things about me? It don't take a rocket science to figure that one out. Yes, it's Whack 100.
Yeah.
Whack 100. Poetic Flacco is Team Whack 100. It don't matter what the lies and the deceit and deception that Whack 100 participates in. I mean, he's got some drama right now going on with this Ray J fight. It does not matter. This guy is Team Whack 100. And we all know that Whack 100 is behind a significant amount of malicious, harmful internet antics.
Here's what comes.
And unfortunately, many of you others are okay with it. Many of you guys got nothing to say about it. You will slander Young and Jefe. You will do all kind of you will engage in a misinformation campaign on Young and Jefe, but you won't speak on the foulness of Whack 100. Why not? I know why. And unfortunately, black folks got a problem with this. Black folks always do this. Well, he ain't said nothing about me. He ain't dissed me yet. He ain't talked no mess about me. Well, that was actually an issue and a problem that Young and Jefe had to deal with, because I don't know for how long he sat next to Munchie B, and every time Munchie B told the truth about Whack 100, Young Ant was quiet. Young Ant was silent. And you got
the thing about Whack is what I've noticed and studied about him is if he get into it with somebody, if he feel that he's above this character or whatever, he's gonna apply as a pressure, but he does it in a strategic way. And when he felt that Ant wasn't really on his side, because they had a little issue early off, but then it was kind of like at bay. But then when it started up again, and like he got it real excited when he came back after these paperwork dropped and said, well, yeah, but before the paperwork dropped, where he was saying, and talked about going to the hood and all that, and he was making mockery of it. But he laid weight though, because it was kind of like it was at bay. It's like it's always ways you can get at your enemies, and that's how Wack operates. I feel like if you're gonna tangle with them, you better know what you're dealing with, and these young members, some of them just ain't that smart. We're just gonna keep it 100, especially in this business where it's cutthroat business. Nobody's friends. None of it. Wack showed that he didn't like nobody on that panel. He kept telling Adam, them niggas is bozos. And, he tell you right there. He look at like I'm closer to the master, and y'all niggas is just distractions. So when it comes to the things that he do to these people online, back and forth, going, most people like, well, I don't want to be dealing with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that, because they don't see it as being serious to them. So I mean, I can expect that. We should expect that. We shouldn't expect people to just jump into other, tangle with other shit, or just oppose themselves. But I get it. We look at certain individuals, like he mentioned Cartoon. Cartoon is an OG, stepped away from the life, turned his life over to Christ. I think he's always been his a steward for Christ. You know what I'm saying? Christ was working on him, like he say in his videos. When it comes to that, and then how he viewed the internet, he's not gonna get that too deep. Oh, Wack, what you doing is wrong. Blah, blah. He's not gonna get into that, bro. We gotta be honest, man. When you engage in YouTube back and forth and create a persona for yourself, you become somewhat of a celebrity. And how you perceived on it, that's how people gonna come at it, So I mean, I don't know, man. It's up to how you view it. But let's get back to the content.
And Young Ant and Munchie B, they're homeboys. They go back many years. Over a decade, maybe 15 years. They've been locked up together. But this mentality that we have, well, he ain't said nothing about me. And it was crazy. I just heard it this morning. I was watching Tony, formerly Cartoon 5-3, speak on Wack 100. I was like, oh, okay. I've never heard him speak on him, but let me hear what he had to say. And what do you think Tony had to say? And what do you think Tony had to say? Well, what do black people do when it comes to this type of issue? Well, he ain't said nothing about me. All right, let me play this clip.
But the first one, boom. Back to the situation with Wack 100. Y'all have been asking me over and over and over and over what I think about this cat, what I think about what he's doing on social media, blah, 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 blah. And I told y'all a million times before, oh boy, ain't never spoke about me. I don't know him. I ain't really got nothing to say about him. And I've always left it at that. What I'm finna say now is not really speaking on him, well, against him now. What I'm finna speak about is the mentality of the people that are getting into it with him.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. He ain't never said nothing about me. So I ain't got nothing to say about him. But he certainly had a lot to say about your people. Maybe some people that you know. Maybe some homeboys you grew up with. He certainly had a lot to say about the culture. I mean, Wack 100 has disrespected so many people. Let's just deal with OG Crips. OG Crips. OG Crips from Tony's generation. I recall Wack 100 being very disrespectful with OG Brydog from Carver Park. I recall Wack 100 being extremely disrespectful with Melly Mel from Santana Block.
Okay. I think too, though, is this. All the people that he about to mention, he mentioned already, they had a back and forth at some, particular level. And it's like, basically, you got to handle your own candle. Brydog did not back down. Ride Dog have I think I don't know if they still do, but they was on Clubhouse and they was definitely giving it to Whack over there. But see, Whack is he's so much want to be the main character or celebrity, so he gonna put himself more out there. He's more of a draw when it comes to the social media, and he works off of that. He knows that. So him coming at him, Melly Mel, OG who ain't for the, he tell you off the top he ain't for this internet shit. So them and he's checked the Whack. Gangster, OG Gangster came at Gangster, accused him of being a rat and a snitch or whatnot, and the homie clapped back. Compton in the house, you know what I'm saying? Clap back. So Damian Porter clapped back. So all the older G's that he have came at, as far as on the Crip side, Alex, they pretty much clap back. Monster Cody is dead, so he can't clap back. Now the people from his section, and they were friends or whatnot, but still, it's not up to them to try to go back and forth with Whack. Only people that engage in with Whack, they want that. They want to be able, because there's certain things that come with it. Niggas do be straddling the fence though, or playing the back, like, I don't really got nothing to it, or I'm gonna play the political side of it. I get that, because that's just how the industry is. He's within the entertainment realm. A lot of these young dudes that do content creations, a lot of people want to be rappers, they want to be on the podcast, so they want to just play it safe. That's what as far as cartoon, I don't think that's the case. I just feel like the nigga said it off the top. He ain't came said nothing about me. If he said something about him, trust me, just like when Spider-Loaf and they was going back and forth, and Bobby Ye, he didn't back down. So I don't know about that one.
Let's get to this other shit right here, because this is crazy, right?
Warrant for 3 people were issued by LAPD in a murder case, an unaliving case involving young and Jefe. And this is off of Street TV's. Shout out to Alex Alonso. On May 19, 2026, popular podcaster and social media commentator Young Ant Jefe was taken into custody on warrant for unaliving. The Los Angeles Police Department alleged that Young Ant, whose real name is Maurice Sheldman, participated in a fatal assault against 51-year-old Los Angeles resident Carl Welch. In addition to Sheldman, arrest warrants were issued for 2 other suspects, Johnny Gray, 29, Irvin Diaz, 21. According to authorities, all 3 men are documented members of the A-Tray Gangsta Crips, one of the largest and most historical rooted street gangs on the west side of Los Angeles. Once news of Ant Jefe's arrest hit the YouTube universe, a digital rush to judgment immediately took over, operating on pure speculation. Across platforms, content creators openly criticized on the tragedy whilst simultaneously spinning unverified narratives. This is not facts. This is not factual. One commentary noted as the blogosphere began manufacturing cinematic storylines. Among them, commentaries Poetic Flacco, Frederick Jalla. That's his real name, okay? Frederick Jalla laid out an intricate detail and entirely fabricated script of the gang's shootout at a South Los Angeles taco stand, linking Ant Jefe to the murder of Deshaun Little Bandit Coleman, 30 years old, addressing a exploitative nature of the coverage. Commentary Compton Rick Rock stated bluntly on his own platform, "This is just the internet. Guys on the internet getting their money." That's the truth. This is where they said it took place, man. This is a parking lot. We got 24-hour laundry facility, and I'm thinking right here and over to the right, where it actually happened. I don't know, but they saying this is the area. It's crazy, right? But yeah. That was on northeast corner of 70th Street and 70th Street. located of the fatal physical assault against Carl Welch. The digital rumor mill reached dangerous heights when YouTuber Seti Nash amplified the claim, blindly linking and Jefe arrest to a high-profile unaliving of Baby Huey. Man, Baby Huey, the son of the prominent regional figure Big U, he's locked up right now on a RICO, and a member of the rival Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips. In violation ecosystem of Los Angeles street culture, public speculation of this magnitude carries several world risks, often indicating retaliation, violence based entirely on digital falsehoods. Yeah, that is so true. So true.
The link to a PDF file of these 3 pages below for any of those that want to read it, review it. You guys might want to cover it. But if you're one of those platforms that has been pushing these false narratives, you ain't qualified to review and read this. So just skip over it. All right. So on January 31st, 2026, 911 call was made from to report an assault at 6916 Southwestern Avenue in the city of LA. The 911 caller advised that the victim was being assaulted by multiple suspects in the parking lot. Now, here is that parking lot. The parking lot is on the corner of 70th and Western. There's a thrift shop there, there's a mini market, and then there's a laundromat. Fire department announced Mr. Carl Welch dead at the scene on January 31st. Police, LAPD responded, and they picked up some evidence at the scene. They found 5 pieces of broken jewelry and 1 set of veneers belonging to the victim. When the detectives got to the scene, Mr. Welch was shirtless, lying in a supine position next to the wall with obvious facial trauma, and the victim's black Escalade was parked nearby. Detective Abilar was approached by the victim's girlfriend, and she provided some information on who he was and where he worked. According to this affidavit here, Mr. Welch arrived in the parking lot at 6:20 p.m. It states that the first suspects arrived at 7 p.m. and started to congregate with Mr. Welch. Then at 9:30 p.m., more suspects arrived, including young Aunt Jefe. And then around 9:45 p.m., and this is all according to video surveillance that they have, obviously, on one of these buildings. Then at 9:45 p.m., according to the video surveillance, the assault against Mr. Welch begins. At 10:34 p.m., the fire department announced him dead. Now, the detective also got in touch with the wife, and the wife made a statement to the police saying that Carl Welch worked at an unlicensed dispensary on Florence and Normandy, and that the owner of this dispensary told the wife that Mr. Welch would hold the rent money in a bag, and he would put that bag in his car. Now, that bag is very important. Don't forget about the bag that he keeps the rent money in his car. Detectives then went to the dispensary, spoke to the owner to confirm the wife's story, and the owner said, yes, he keeps the rent money in a bag. Now, this video surveillance was reviewed by one of the gang cops out of the 77th Division named Lagunas. Officer Lagunas is from the Gang Enforcement Detail. And let me just state that the Gang Enforcement Detail has been currently halted because of some recent corruption that came up regarding ghost stops and not turning on body cams during traffic stops. There's more about that in a previous video that I did. But Officer Lagunas is part of this same 77th Division Gang Enforcement Detail, and he watched the video surveillance and he provided what he knew about the people in that video. So Lagunas identified the suspect kicking Mr. Welch in the head as Johnny Gray, also known as North Face. Officer Lagunas personally knows Gray and not only identified him, but he identified his car that was parked in the parking lot. Now, LAPD has a documented traffic stop with Gray in that same car on January 9th. LAPD also obtained search warrants for subscriber information, cell phone subscriber information from Google and from his cell phone provider.
Them damn cell phones. That's what I'm saying, man. You get out here trying to do these crimes, put in work. And in this case, they put in work on their own homie. We don't know the circumstances of why, but according to the paperwork, and they getting from this video surveillance, and they relying on this so-called gang expert. And that's what they stacking up against these fellas. We want to send our condolences to the one that lost his lives. This is unfortunate, and this is not what we are here for at this channel. We just doing reactions, and we do reviews, and that's what we doing right now. This is real sad, man. Free young Jefe, if he's innocent, and I always say that. I'm not the one. Oh, you're free, my nigga, because he could be what they say he is. If he out here killing people, no remorse, straight serial killer. Nah, nigga, don't free you. You out raping motherfuckers, doing child molesting, doing whatever that ain't good for our community. Nigga, stay your ass in jail.
Which links a phone number to Gray that is also pinging to this location on January 31st. They also tracked that same phone to Mr. Gray leaving LA and going to Las Vegas the very next day.
Okay. Y'all niggas can't detach yourself from your phones. Technology is working overtime when it comes to these gang members. I always say you cannot do 80s crimes in this era. You can't. This is past the millennium. You're like, what are you doing? They got technology all over the place, cameras everywhere on each light that you pass, intersection. They just get it right there on the computer, and that camera. With that computer, that camera will do face recognition, quick, straight up. You niggas will be like, have these glasses on, and these masks on, and be thinking that you incognito. Nobody knows who you is. They got folks that study body movement, facial expression. We're creatures of habit, and they pay people top dollar to do that. This is a Minority Report type society that we're in.
Although we don't have the exact number of people that were in that parking lot when this incident happened, Officer Lagunas was able to identify two other people on the surveillance video, one being Young Ant and the other one being a guy named Irvin Theus. Officer Lagunas states that Young Ant appears to intervene in an argument between an unknown person that's there that Lagunas was not able to identify and Young Ant. So Lagunas is actually identifying Young Ant Jefe as the person that is trying to de-escalate the conflict between an unknown person, we'll call him suspect 4, and Young Ant. But then Lagunas later...
See, right there, but then this sounds crazy. So they saying that Young Ant Jefe was trying to de-escalate the whole situation, but then it sounded like a Las Vegas Thug Night Tupac incident.
That states in this affidavit that Young Ant can be seen striking the victim while he's on the ground. Lagunas was able to identify that Young Ant went to his car and started speaking to Irvin Thomas. Now, Irvin Theus. Irvin Theus is 21 years old. He is also from ETG. During the assault, actually, Theus was sitting in his car parked right next to Carl Welch's car. Irvin Theus did not participate in the actual assault, but according to Officer Lagunas, when Theus pulled up, he's seen interacting with the victim, then he's seen getting in his car, leaving, and then he comes back in his car shortly before the assault begins against Mr. Welch. But after the assault finishes, Theus goes into the victim's car, grabs a bag, and then gives that bag to Young Ant. Now, that's why I said...
Yeah. See, that's why they say robbery. So, as the assault was happening, during the assault, this is what they saying, it's in the paper, during the assault. I read it. During the assault. Ant goes over to the car, go talk to this other dude, Irvin Theus.
Allegedly.
And, hey, man, He goes grab the bag and give the bag and to Young and Jefe. This is nasty work. This ain't looking good, homie. This ain't looking good. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know what y'all think, man. Is Young and Jefe cooked? Is it done for Young Ant? Is he cooked, my nigga?
Don't forget about a bag. For some reason, in this statement of probable cause, you can tell they're trying to link this bag as to something of value, which is where the robbery comes in.
Right.
On April 27th, the LAPD decides to issue warrants on 3 people: on Young Ant, on Johnny Gray for murder, and they issue a warrant to Irvin Theus for conspiracy. Irvin Theus is the guy seen going in the car, grabbing a few things, specifically that bag, and then giving that bag to Young Ant. Also, they took Carl Welch's Escalade and they dusted it for fingerprints, and Irvin Theus's fingerprints are all over the car. So not only is he seen on video going into the car, they have his fingerprints on the car. And I just have a few questions before I wrap this up. I wonder why it took till April 27th to issue warrants when this offense happened on January 31st. Maybe it took some time for Officer Lagunas to identify people in that parking lot. Maybe he actually didn't know who they were and had to do some research to figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Especially if you got folks that's going on the internet saying that, oh yeah, I know this cat, that cat, Mind you, because Young and Jefe just got arrested. They should have been arrested him, right? But I don't know, I ain't a detective, I ain't none of that shit. This is fucked up. At the end of the day, somebody lost their life and somebody's in jail about to fight for their lives. Y'all get in the comments, let me know what y'all think, man. Is Young and Jefe cooked? Is it over for him? It's looking bad. So according to the paperwork, it's looking bad. That's all I'm saying. But at the same time, you can't be like straddling the fence. You can't be just, knowing that you know how things can get. And if Young Ant is one of those owners of the smoke shop, as that's what they saying. They say because his brother got popped in front of the smoke shop. I'm thinking that's the same location. Don't quote me. But if you're a business owner, man, certain things you shouldn't be involved in, especially when there's cameras everywhere. All that shit was on camera. And then it ain't just the cameras in front of your stores, the stores next to you, across the street. If it's a traffic light, which according to the way it look, it's a traffic light over there. Like, come on, man. All that shit is on camera. Yeah, man. So we're gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go check out Street TV. Yeah, man. And free Young and Jefe. We out this bitch.
Right, gang, let's really nail it this time. Here we go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ay, call it the name, that's my mafia twin for Jordan Downs. Raise a finger, that's on gorillas, bitches going down. You politicking on instant, I'm out rolling rounds. Smoked his brother, smoking his brother, now we in the cloud. Played our freestyle in the courtroom, Brody lost his trial. Doing dope all around the kid, so she lost her child. See, this mafia way of living, it's just our lifestyle. It ain't no waiting, I'm impatient, let's get busy right now, okay? Bang, yeah, rolling with the Alpine, bang, yeah,